the 76ers might actually win the next NBA championship.
Let me just keep it real. The Philadelphia 76ers with LeBron James can win a championship this year with this roster.
LeBron James literally left $45 million on the table in Los Angeles just to sign a cheap $8 million deal with a franchise that has not seen a single title since 1983. Not Cleveland where he grew up, not Miami where he won 2 rings, not Golden State where he could have linked up with Steph Curry in the most nostalgic moment in NBA history. He chose the friggin' Sixers. However, what most fans are overlooking is that he didn't walk into some empty rebuild or a standard veteran super team. This roster already had Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Jaylen Brown, but the player who will actually make this team impossible to beat is not even one of the veterans. It's the 20-year-old rookie V.J. Edgecombe, a guy who just dropped 34 points in his debut and the player almost nobody outside of Philly is ready to guard yet. But we're gonna come back to him later. So yeah, the NBA just changed forever, and the question everybody needs to answer right now is simple. Is this actually the greatest team ever assembled, or is this just typical LeBron hype? Because there's one massive problem that could completely stop him from winning that championship, and when you hear it, it'll change everything you thought you knew about this league. The funniest part is that back in 2024, everybody spent months laughing at the Paul George contract, like it was the worst disaster in franchise history, acting like Daryl Morey completely lost his mind. But honestly, I don't think the Sixers ever really looked at Paul George as a long-term piece. They just used that contract as a placeholder asset chain to exploit the league's new tax rules. Because right after the Boston Celtics started panicking about their payroll under the new second apron rules, the Sixers flipped George's salary to take Jaylen Brown straight out of their division. And that single move is the exact reason LeBron James realized staying in Los Angeles was completely pointless at the East and saw a young rotation that completely changes the timeline for an aging superstar. He watched 20-year-old V.J. Edgecombe drop 34 points against Boston in his rookie debut, which is higher than Allen Iverson's franchise record, by the way. He saw LeBaron Fillon Jr. averaging 18.5 points in Summer League, and of course he already knew Tyrese Maxey was holding down the backcourt as the primary engine. In fact, Rich Paul straight up admitted that Maxey was the primary reason LeBron signed that cheap $8 million deal, proving that this roster was perfectly calculated from day one. In fact, it was so obvious that even Brian Windhorst said the same thing.
Harden and Maxey as players, but the comfort level with Maxey is clearly deeper than the comfort level with Harden, and I honestly believe that that was part of it. And so
But the front office decisions mean nothing compared to what this group is about to do on the court. I mean, let's even forget about the insane stats for a second, because this is probably the most complete starting five in the league right now. First off, Tyrese Maxey finally gets to breathe, instead of carrying the entire offense on his back every single night. Since LeBron is running point from the 4th spot, Maxey can just play off the ball, use his insane speed to curl off screens, and burn teams that are already panicking out of position. You don't have to be a basketball genius to see how terrifying that is, when a guy who drops 30 points in his sleep gets to catch passes on the move instead of creating against a set defense every possession. Then you add Jaylen Brown into the mix to take whatever terrifying guard matchup is on the floor, meaning LeBron actually gets to conserve his energy instead of chasing guys around screens for 40 minutes like he's still 22. Brown gives him an elite two-way presence who can lock down the perimeter, and that completely shifts how they defend transition and isolation sets. And good luck trying to figure out a LeBron and Embiid pick and roll. If the other team switches, Embiid just backs down whatever poor guard is stuck on him for an easy 2 points right at the rim. If they drop back to protect the paint, LeBron walks right into the key and picks the defense apart with absolute precision. If anyone tries to help off the shooter, Maxey and Brown are standing wide open behind the arc, ready to drill it. It's literally a choose-your-own poison offense where every single option results in a bucket. That same chaos spills right into transition, because Jaylen Brown and rookie V.J. Edgecombe are definitely flying down the floor the second LeBron grabs a defensive rebound, turning every stop into an instant fast break before the defense can even get back. Meanwhile, Embiid finally gets to manage manage his minutes and stay healthy instead of carrying the entire franchise by one leg by January. Every single guy on the floor has a specific job, instead of just standing in the corner, which means opposing coaches cannot double-team anyone without giving up a completely open basket somewhere else. When you put all that together, you realize why this roster is not just a collection of big names, but an actual machine designed to break all the other teams. And remember V.J. Edgecombe, the rookie we talked about at the start? Yeah. Dropping 34 points against the Boston Celtics in your very first career game is absolutely absurd. When a 20-year-old drops 34 points in his debut and breaks Allen Iverson's record, you gotta stop looking at him like a typical developmental project and start treating him like an active problem. Then you've got LeBron James Jr. out here dropping nearly 19 points a night in Summer League, while Jaylen Brown is literally sitting courtside just to watch the kid work. This is not some desperate veteran squad trying to buy one last ring before the window slams shut. They accidentally built the bridge straight into the next decade while everyone else was focused on the starting five. Obviously, Edgecombe is 20 years old and standing at 6'5", which means heavy NBA wings are gonna try and bully him off his spots until he adds some muscle in the weight room. But think about who's standing in that gym with him every single day. Instead of throwing a rookie into the fire and hoping he figures it out, Edgecombe gets to absorb basketball IQ directly from arguably the smartest player to ever touch a basketball. You take that kind of raw athletic speed, mix it with elite verticality, and put him under the wing of LeBron James, and that player stops being a standard bench rotation piece and turns into the exact weapon that makes this team completely unstoppable. And look, we gotta talk about what this actually did to the rest of the league, because while Philly was busy cooking all this up, the New York Knicks were sitting over in Madison Square Garden probably sweating through their custom suits. After all, at least before all of this, the Knicks' only threat for next season was the Spurs. But now they have to deal with a roster that has LeBron with 4 other elite players. Yeah, I'd be panicking too if it was me. They just built a legit contender around Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mitchell Robinson. But quick question, how do you even strategically prepare for a lineup where you literally have to guard Joel Embiid and LeBron James at the same time? And do not even get me started on Boston. The Celtics didn't just lose a player, their entire franchise identity got stripped out of their chest the second Jaylen Brown crossed the border to put on a Sixers jersey. They built their entire modern era around the Tatum and Brown dual wing strategy, and now they have to watch that exact weapon pointed straight at their own throat. While Oklahoma City is still bullying everyone out west, the Eastern Conference just turned into a bloodbath. But if you think rival front offices are stressing, wait until you hear what the legends of the game are screaming about behind closed doors. Kevin Garnett completely lost his mind on his podcast, leaning straight into the mic and yelling that 4 alpha scorers on one team is a total disaster because there's only one ball to go around.
He goes to Philly, god damn, that's like the circus. Only one ball. I don't know if all those pieces can work with each other. Edgecombe on the way up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Big fella gonna feel some type of way. Once they hit the black hole, they don't come out the black hole. And Embiid get it.
People love repeating that take, acting like egos are gonna wreck this team by Christmas. But they're completely forgetting how LeBron has operated for 2 decades. This is the exact same guy who figured out how to share the floor with Shaq in Cleveland, split touches with D Wade in Miami, made it work with Kyrie, and ran it right alongside AD in LA. Sharing the floor with other superstars is literally what he's done his whole career. But all those reactions and front office decisions do not change the only question that actually matters next season. Can this terrifying combination actually perform under high-stakes pressure, or will it all completely collapse? Because we can talk about spacing and pick and rolls and talented rookies all day long, but this entire championship window lives and dies on one single terrifying reality: Joel Embiid's 2 knees. If Embiid is not available in May, none of the contracts or superstar names on this roster mean a damn thing. Just look at the actual receipts from his last few years. 39 games, 19 games, 38 games. That is not just bad luck. That's a ticking time bomb. Every single season, he looks like the most unstoppable force on planet Earth until the winter hits. Then his lower body completely disintegrates right when the games actually get physical. If those knees somehow survive an 82-game schedule and a deep postseason run, nobody in this league is stopping him. They will walk straight through the bracket and take the crown. But the second he misses 2 months, the reality check hits hard. All those heavy minutes instantly fall onto a 41-year-old LeBron James. Without Embiid anchoring the paint, opposing teams are gonna attack the rim every single possession, forcing LeBron and the wings to burn their legs out trying to cover the mess. The backup center rotation gets exposed instantly, and Nick Nurse is left stressing over load management every single night, just trying to keep the season alive before spring even arrives. So where does that leave us? Is this the greatest team ever assembled? No. The new Sixers roster is not the greatest team ever assembled yet. They have not played a single game together. But on paper, they may possess the highest ceiling in the league and the smallest margin of error. If Embiid reaches the playoffs healthy, Philadelphia can win the championship. If he gets injured again, LeBron's final gamble could become the biggest failure of his career. Drop a comment below and let me know if you think Embiid can actually stay healthy for a full postseason run, or if this whole thing is a total disaster waiting to happen. Make sure you subscribe if you want to stay ahead of every crazy move this league makes, and I will see you next time.